Will the French squad be able to stave off the aggressors from Spain? Let's find out right now.
Well, Karmine Corp are statistically Europe's best team, but surely, Turtle,
Surely.
their run of grand finals is going to come to an end at some point. Could it be now?
Surely.
Surely.
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope somebody clips this, and then, you know, whenever K-Corp make every grand final and make another crazy run during this split, we can all embarrass Cole and make him know that he was wrong, and he's never right about anything, and he's also beautiful, because Karmine Corp, you doubt them even a little bit, and you realize, why would I ever do that? Because they've got the players, Vatira, Exotic, Itachi. Everybody talks about Vatira. Oh, Vatira's the best player in the world. Vatira this, Vatira that. I think Itachi is also one of the main players who keeps this team alive and makes it so consistently hard to beat these guys.
They're a team that have a little bit of everything about them, Karmine Corp. When they need to, they can turn on this explosive power and just force a goal, force 2 goals in minimal time. But they can also, as you say, thanks mainly to Itachi, the man who touches the ball there, play such a solid style as well. Yeah. It's rare to beat them, but we did see in Rotterdam when Moyes come up against them that they can be beaten.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also did see Team Vitality, who Johnny Boy was mentioning, take down K-Corp in game number 5 as a couple of demos are flying left and right on our screens. K-Corp under some immense pressure, but finally a big opening comes through and a booming clear down the other side for Vatira.
As for G1, one of the few teams that are unbeaten so far in this event, alongside the team that beat Karmine Corp in Vitality. And it was really interesting for anybody who saw it during the break, the interview that we had with Atomic from G1. He was talking about how cool they are in these high-pressure moments. They won't tilt out, they won't turn on each other, and they're going to have some tricky moments right now against Karmine Corp. I think that is a guarantee, so they'll have to show their mentality.
Yeah, and I think that the last series with Team Liquid, and regardless of them having so much pressure up against German Amigos, that mental game really came through, and if G1 are as consistent in that mental game, I'm sure no matter the obstacle, they can definitely overcome it.
Well, step one for G1 to overcome is to make sure that Karmine Corp don't spend too much of the game camped up in that orange half of the pitch. You saw them all 3 of them were just there lingering, waiting for the ball, which is exactly what G1 do not want. They are desperate to play on the front foot. But
wow.
You can't when Karmine Corp are passing it around like this. So fast, 1-0.
I mean, okay, look at this recovery from Vatira. He wins the 50. The landing on the backboard. It doesn't look super flashy. It doesn't look absolutely unbelievable. It's not as flashy as a flip reset, but I guarantee you it's almost just as hard to land right under the ball. Get the perfect touch where it's not too strong out into the midfield for Itachi. That is why Vatira is regarded as one of the best, if not the best.
One of many, many reasons why he's regarded so highly. Here he is again. Can't quite get as good a catch as last time. Does manage to get a decent 50-50 towards his teammate Exotic, who ends up keeping the ball yet again in that left corner as far as G1 are concerned. They have to be able to break free a little bit more often than they already are, because right now it's Karmine Corp that have got the squeeze on them, and so much of that is Vatira's pace. Another couple of clean touches on the G1 backboard. G1, one of the most aggressive teams in the world, one of the faster teams as well in EU, but they are really struggling to deal with this KC pace right now.
Yeah, but here comes Atomic, though. They were struggling previously, and that was a fancy little double tap from Atomic to get something on the board or any form of traction here for G1, but nice challenge as well from Atomic, and maybe the double tap, he missed it, but it worked as a fake, and we do get a response.
Only the second shot so far for G1, and it ends up nestling its way into the net. It was Atomic who actually beat Vatira. Exotic couldn't believe what he was seeing, his French teammate being beaten to the ball, and suddenly Dorito finds an easy finish into the bottom left corner.
I like the narrative of just, they're never expecting each other to miss. I mean, do you think that's actually true? How much faith do you think these guys, K-Corp, have in each other to constantly overpower and win every challenge? I mean, there's got to be a conversion right there, maybe 90% of the challenges, but Atomic, hello, welcome back, and we got the second goal for G1.
They did say that they weren't afraid to go in when the going got tough, G1. The going was very definitely tough at the start of this game, but suddenly, 2 fast goals, and they're the ones in the ascendancy. So now it's the next question. Atomic also talked about the fact that they have to improve their defense. Are they going to be able to hold out? Will they even try to hold out against Karmine Corp over these next couple of minutes? I think we know the answer. They're going to try and get a third, but first, they will have to keep the ball away. Serious to the side. Itachi's coming in. It should be bumped away by Dorito, and was. Atomic can't quite get his second touch, though, so that should let Karmine Corp in. Exotic to the backboard. Dorito misses, and Mark by 8's there to help him out.
That's absolutely the right approach, Cole, is keeping the onslaught moving forward. You don't want to let up on the aggression, especially a team that is so efficient as K-Corp. If you give them, you know, 1 or 2 more extra chances where you could have been attacking, that might actually be the end of the game for you and the end of the lead. But a lot of the success for G1 has come down to Atomic. 81% goal participation. Itachi certainly going to try and match that number here as he gets the second goal, and the second goal to his name as well in game 1.
What a goal as well. I mean, Itachi is sharing a pitch with Exotic and Vatira. He's unlikely to be Mr. Mechanics, but he finds a way to squeeze the ball in his own little
Hey, that was
way.
mechanical. What are you saying about that? That was very mechanical, right?
I reckon he had that in mind as soon as he went up. He's thinking, I'm going to get a dunk pogo. Ooh.
Yep. Dunk pogo, the new strat, the new meta. Mark by A, maybe he'll invent something as he...
Sounds like one of your songs, Dunk Pogo.
Oh, thank you very much.
Here is Atomic from his own backboard. He's met by Exotic. 2 players with very similar names. I'm going to probably get mixed up a few times this series. I'll try not to. Here is Atomic yet again. Vatira's is waiting underneath. Going to try and get involved. Send that ball high above the G1 goal, but it's pretty safe again for Dorito, who can find Atomic. There's a shooting chance here, but it's not quite there for G1. I'll keep it going, though. Just a safe prod by Mark by 8 onto the backboard. And Exotic can come away.
You see all that space given to K-Corp? That ball was just floating, and nobody from G1 wanted to extend forward. We talked about how aggressive they can be, but it's a very awkward sign. Maybe they're just patient, knowing that K-Corp are in a sticky situation and are waiting for that one mistake to come out, but that might be the end of it, because Itachi had some space to work with.
Huge clearance there from Dorito with 17 seconds left in this first game. Starting to get a little bit more important who gets the next goal. That one's above the goal by Atomic. Itachi tries to shepherd it away, but Dorito's in fast. Exotic up against Mark by 8. More good pace from Mark. He can't quite get the second touch again. That final hit for G1. Not quite there on a couple of key occasions. That could lead us to overtime, and I think now they would take overtime because this is some danger going into the 0-second period. Dorito does indeed push that ball down, and we head to OT in game number 1.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big weakness for G1 is the follow-up. Wherever that second or third man is positioned inside the box. But hold on a minute, that one, almost another wonky goal for Itachi. Tried to land on top of it where he was hovering above the net. More pressure coming out from K-Corp as heading into the OT, they were under all the pressure, but now they're the ones demanding it.
My goodness, it's looking a little bit dodgy in defense from G1 right now. Every time they're getting these touches in front of their own goal, it's not perfect enough. And Karmine Corp is starting to sense that blood in the water, but credit to G1. The Spaniards have managed to hold out for now, as we saw at the start of this game, able to just keep Karmine Corp at arm's length when needed. They're coming forward again, though. Itachi has Vatira to his left, misses the ball, actually, and Atomic can send it away. I think G1 will be happy for this one just to settle down for 10 seconds or so after the way the overtime started.
Yeah, and it's let Mark by 8 actually position himself better because it's settled down. Look at that big clear. He was able to get some boost to his name, find a better position, and KC were looking for a counterattack in Vatira, but he was positioned a slight bit too defensively, and a big miss from Itachi will set up another follow-up shot of Vatira, holding it down as that last man.
Dorito up against Exotic. A huge clearance from Exotic as well. Had to avoid the Dorito-shaped vehicle in front of him, and did so well. Mark is going for attack. He's almost got him yet again. Another almost for G1. So many of those moments early on in a best of 7, but you want to start off well if you're the underdog. So close to doing so. Gonna have to keep on trying. Atomic, Exotic gets it past him. Mark by 8 there into the center, and it was one awkward touch in defense, too many, and Karmine Corp take game 1.
And it looked like Itachi saw this mistake from a mile away. He realized all this pressure was coming out from Exotic, and he's rotating in from the far side. Perfect angle, perfect strike, and KC take the first game.
I feel like that developed into a game that was perfect for Itachi because Karmine Corp weren't having everything their own way. At the beginning, it was the Vatira show. His mechanics were working, but G1, those frailties in defense, that's exactly where Itachi is always sniffing around. And he's always going to be the player that reads that 1 in 100 mistake that the opposition defense might be making.
The way that Itachi reads the game and understands where 50-50s are going to go, or maybe how a challenge might end up, or a pinch, or even a clear, it truly is on another level. And this is why I was bringing him up whenever we got into this series. Whenever Vatira isn't coming out with these mechanics, Exotic isn't doing as much on offense, you can always rely on Itachi to read the play. Whether he's getting the goals or he's setting it up, he will always be there to back you up and your teammates.
How happy will Karmine Corp be after that first game, do you think, Turtle?
very happy. I think that's like such a... If you can win without crazy mechanics, Cole, and you can win without, relying too heavily on outside situations or potentially having Exotic go up for a flip reset and just Itachi with these wonky mechanics, I think you're very confident moving forward.
Okay, well, the exact sort of ugly win that every team loves to have. Karmine Corp enjoyed there. G1 will be looking to get a bit more beauty into this second game. They're trying to force it by going to the backboard early. I'll change the question. How will G1 be feeling after that one? Because surely you're looking at that thinking, we should have won. We should have won.
I think there's definitely different perspectives you could have on that. You could get frustrated, and that's where the mental game can come through. You can either see it as, oh, we came so close. We were literally within one. We forced them into awkward situations. Or you could view it as, oh my goodness, we should have won that. How did we not win that? And that's where the mental game and having a coach can really benefit you to stay positive and see the bright side of a lot of those mistakes.
Seem to have that positivity so far. It's a good start to Forbidden Temple. Welcome back, Forbidden Temple, to the rotation. Happy to have it back in this winter split. G1 has started it a little bit stronger, keeping the ball in blue territory, at least for now. Atomic should be able to beat Exotic pretty comfortably here. Mark by 8 is coming in. Itachi saves it. Mark by 8. Not quite the finish he was after.
And it does look like they had to dodge a demo. Dorito was rotating as that first man, looking to take out a player. Off the backboard, here comes a shot opportunity, but Vatira is going to opt out and try to keep some midfield possession, but it's not working. Both teams have had a couple of good looks, Cole, so far, but nothing too fruitful.
Exotic versus Atomic again. That duo combining once more. And the ball ends up with Vatira. Wants to go over the top of Mark by 8, but can't quite do so. So now Atomic in his far corner, just prods it past Itachi. That's the sort of touch that can open things up for G1. How's the bounce? Dorito's following it, but again, the shot wasn't quite there. G1, will they rue these missed chances?
I think so. I mean, they're sneezing on the ball. There's no power behind any of these shots. Good opportunities, good setups, but when it comes to make the final strike, they are whiffing quite hard, Cole, and that will bite them at the end of the day because you're not going to get too many chances.
And you know that KC only need one, and they will more often than not take it, especially with Exotic on the ball. Vatira is waiting to come in the center. Dorito, no, it's wide again.
Oh, come on.
Even though it's in his own half, that's a good chance.
Oh, even though it's in his own half, it's still an open net and a direct line of sight to the goal you've got to punish.
Exotic, slow the game down for Karmine Corp right now because you are the team at risk of chucking this one away. Surely G1 eventually going to make the most of one of these mistakes.
My,
but Vatira, he only needs half a chance. Itachi's shot is a little bit weak this time. Mark by 8 flicks it high. Pretty nervous position here in this game. The first goal so important, you would expect.
He's going to set the tone, set the mood for how game number 2 is going to go. This is the best of 7. Reminder, folks, a long series ahead. Plenty of time, but we want to continue building momentum if you're K-Corp or get back in the series immediately for G1. Vatira, back-to-back demo space opened up. Exotic, another line of sight on the shot. Can't find it, and it's saved with the follow-up.
No one wants to score this game. Every shot is going to the center of the goal. Someone, find one of those corners, please. Mark by 8, maybe it's you. Instead, you take out Itachi. Atomic can take a second, boom it to the corner of the pitch, not the corner of the goal. Exotic was already waiting for the ball. This is better from G1, a little bit more purpose to their approach. They are going to have to head back. I think they've run out of boost. Mark by 8 turns into it. Itachi up against Atomic. Some 50-50s go the way of Karmine Corp, at least for now, until Dorito can slow things down. Decent play from G1. They've managed to wrestle that ball back, wrestle the intensity back for themselves. But all it takes, yet again, is one touch to clear, and G1 are going to have to reset.
Wow. But I really like this from Dorito. I mean, look at all this space this man can work with. Over Vatira, off the backboard, Atomic up early. There's 2 players in the net, which means, of course, one of them is going to find a pre-jump save. And K-Corp somehow get away with it.
Atomic beats Itachi to this one, though. Ramping up the pressure right now, G1. Mark by 8, another shot. That one's wide. And Vatira to the side. Now it's Dorito's turn. No boost to play with. G1 so desperate to keep this ball in KC territory. They do want to let this chance go. Dorito wants to take out Itachi and can't quite do so. Mark by 8's turn this time. That's a better shot, but Exotic saves it. And he slows it down, and he gets it away. Beautiful defensive play there from Exotic. 25 seconds left.
Blue goal line under so much stress at the moment. And they finally alleviated a lot of that. Itachi, nice little first touch. Potentially opens up an opportunity, but Another great response, and we're seeing probably the best defense, I'd say, out of both of them, and that's what's held us scoreless in game number 2. Do we get OT?
I wouldn't expect it in this game. This is the sort of game that seems like it would have a 0-second goal at the end of all this strain and pressure. Atomic wants to put it down. Is anyone arriving? It's Dorito, and again, the finish isn't there. It's overtime. It's 0-0, and next goal is going to win.
Oh, wait, what is this? Atomic, Dorito, 2-on-1, another opportunity. Wasted. You felt the buzzer beater. You saw the opportunity, but they just couldn't execute.
7 shots for each team, but you feel the difference is that for G1, all 7 of those shots could have maybe should have been goals on a different day. But only 1 goal is going to matter, and it's going to be the first one in game number 2. Exotic puts it into the center. I don't want to have done that. Tira to the corner, a little bit safer from him. A couple of touches, bopping it on his car, and now he can follow it. Marked by 8 with the big booming clearance. Comic's just waiting behind him, in formation right now for G1. Karmine Corp want to take the sting out of this tail. And to be fair, they've managed to do so. It's a shot there from Exotic. Itachi's coming in. There's going to be an absolute steal, but Marked by 8 gets the save. And a huge demo as well from Dorito. Now Marked by 8 can chase it. Again, pretty low on boost. All he can get is a 50-50 against Vatira, and not quite the same. That time against Exotic it was. And Itachi clears it yet again.
You bring up Itachi, but he's the player who was so consistent in the first game. He had that opportunity to end this OT, but he found the very center of the net of all the places. Again, got it right at the goalkeeper. Opportunities. Now for both sides, initially we could harp on G1, but this is K-Corp failing to shoot accurately and with power.
One of the more interesting 0-0s I think I've seen for quite some while. The amount of real chances that we've had. Vatira, he can always cause a chance. Look at him. Nobody can get the ball off his car when he has it dancing on top of it like that. Is it coming for Exotic? Now Atomic has Marked by 8 behind him, so we can really attack this air dribble. Try and make something from it. Vatira's touch is awkward. That's going to let an Atomic, and it's going to be an own goal! After all of this, finally what brings it into the game is a calamitous mistake from the defense.
What is this game? Exotic in the midfield. He must have expected a touch from Itachi. On his cam, he's rotating back. He touches on the backboard. Exotic just hits the brakes, and it bounces right off his forehead. What?
You asked me in game 1, Turtle, when a Karmine Corp player goes up, to what extent do their teammates believe they're gonna 100% hit it? I think that's your answer. I think that's your answer right there. Itachi even thought about going for it, and Exotic thought, he's Itachi. He's gonna get it. But he didn't.
For some reason, I'm happy it ended like that. Like that was the perfect conclusion to this wonky game where nobody wanted to get a proper goal, and instead we just got this forehead smash own goal from Exotic, and that was the best way to end it. And now G1, they've got a chance to at least take the series momentum with a lead in game 3.
Wild game of Rocket League. You won't see too many like that. That's the return of Forbidden Temple. It brings with it good luck for all of us viewers. Not so much good luck for the strikers.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's good luck for Exotic, but I guess for entertainment purpose, yes.
Exactly. And that leaves us pretty much as we were. It's 1-1 in games. I think that G1 overall are shading this game though, because they will still, part of them will be thinking they could be 2-0 up in this series right now.
Yeah.
I would wager they've looked slightly the better team throughout.
And like, how much does that dethrone K-Corp in your mind if you came in here and you had them on this pedestal and then you see them hit that own goal and you start to think to yourself, if you're G1, okay, no, these guys also make very blatant mistakes as well, and we can apply pressure to enforce that. Moving forward, maybe that brings a lot more confidence, and Atomic, a solo play at that caliber would bring more confidence. Even the opportunity looked good.
Again, it's how you take it, how you talk to yourself, what the coach is saying. Do you think, they've made a mistake, or do you think we forced them to make an error? But, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think for the last game. Itachi's got those doinking skills. Yep. What a finish.
I was about to say, the doink of a lifetime. And it's Vatira. That setup, too. Vatira faked the midfield challenge to keep the ball moving forward. Nice little doink from Itachi, and they can end the curse. What are you laughing at? What's wrong, Cole?
It's just the most underutilized move. And for anyone who doesn't know, I love the doink, where you let the ball bounce in your car and just bounce to the other side. So hard to defend. And pros, they struggle with them normally. I don't know why, but that was how you do it.
But it's weird because normally if you're going to get a doink, wait, hold on, okay. I got scared for a second. If you're going to get a doink, there has to be nobody coming in for a challenge. Like Itachi had so much space to get the doink. Most of the time, you've got a player going in for a 50-50, so it's not as effective, but I guess for Itachi, he realized he had all that space.
Karmine Corp keep things going. They are in the lead now in this game. A good start for them. Glad we're not going to have another long, drawn 0-0 in this one. Ready to see some goals. Itachi, he's desperate to get himself on the score sheet again. Already on 4, I believe, this series. So he's been getting plenty. Vatira's not a bad striker himself. Well, and he put it just to the side, hoping a teammate would be coming in, but it wasn't happening. And so far, this is looking a little bit more like game number 1, with KC having all the pressure.
We'll see. Maybe G1 can change the trend of Karmine Corp making every grand finals, or Itachi will keep popping off the same way he has the whole series.
The man can't be stopped. Here he goes again. Vatira tees him up. Itachi follows it up, marked by 8.
Wow.
Left just stranded in the center of the pitch. Itachi's one of those players who makes it look so simple.
Yep. You have to give credit, too, to the setup. That's another good pass from Vatira. That's been a duo in game 3. Vatira in the midfield manages to open up space, and Itachi is the one player who can convert and strikes well. 2 goals to his name, 5 shots in total for K-Corp, and G1 are pretty quiet on the other side.
G1 just starting to inch forward a bit too much. Vatira had a chance there. Now it's Exotic who puts it away. And it's looking a little bit simple for them. G1, they said their mental is good. They won't overcommit and get frustrated, but so far forward, the third man there.
I don't think that would have happened as well if Vatira didn't get a touch off the backboard. You could say it was a bit lucky with how it positioned itself and almost pinched off the backboard, but Vatira has been the pillar of all of these passes, getting 3 assists for all 3 goals. Ridiculous stuff, and now able to thread the needle. He's also going to get one to his name, a goal by himself, or actually, not necessarily, I do believe it was assisted from Itachi, but the striker, you can definitely credit that to Vatira.
I think what we've discovered in this series is that KC don't like being made to look silly. Because
You think they're mad? You think they're upset?
I think they are incredibly mad. I think they know that all the people in Twitch chat going, oh, lol, haha, overtime, own goal. And then this is what they do. It's your guys' fault. They are punishing poor old G1 right now. So I hope you feel proud of yourselves, chat.
So basically, you never want to force an own goal against K-Corp. That's just the worst situation possible. You think it's good for G1.
Yeah.
The mental would be there, but K-Corp, I guess they're angry. They've been bullied down, and now they're making you look silly as a result.
The only time to do it would be in a Game 7 or a Game 5 overtime.
Okay.
When the series is done. Then you can force them to score an own goal all you like. Because if you do it too early, this happens.
Oh, my.
Nah, Dorito, why would you save that?
Almost had it, Cole.
Yeah, I know, that'd be
almost
great.
fancy little cast in there. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Well, the game might be alive if Dorito can score. It was a pretty weak finish from him. G1 just trying to get themselves some sort of chance in this game right now, or at the very least, bring some momentum into game number 5. It's looking, sorry, game number 4. It's looking a long, long way away right now.
We'll see. G1. I mean, they've gotta have something in the vault. Okay, something spicy, something extra saucy. I'm prepared. What do they do? What do they do? They're 4 down against K-Corp. You can literally throw any play style you've had in the lab, you've been cooking up. Just give us something different, because it has not been working for the first 3.5 minutes. And marked by 8. What a strike.
Suddenly they've got 79 seconds to get themselves 3 goals, which is very, very possible. Marked by 8 with a gorgeous little redirect. Itachi helped it on its way. Not quite an own goal. The ball was already going in, so we're not going to have another version of enraged KC punishing G1 for that own goal right there. I wonder how this kickoff goes. It's good for KC. This is where game management is so important for Karmine Corp, because it is possible to concede 4 goals in a minute, 20 odd seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that K-Corp understand that 100%. And as a result, we're going to see probably more of a defensive approach, but that could benefit G1 and allow them to get some demos. Marked by 8 was able to punch out that last defender, but a quick rotation in from K-Corp saves the day and will stall even more time and get the 5th goal for Exotic.
That's great play from Exotic as well, because G1 were just starting to get a bit more pep in their step. They were looking a bit happier with things, the way it was going. So that goal is going to push them away yet again. And this is why we love watching Karmine Corp. When they do manage to get that little bit of space on the ball, their mechanics can show.
Yep.
And this is the first game, I would say, in the series where their mechanics have really shown.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And it actually started with Itachi and Vatira, that duo, taking the first step. And here they come again off the backboard. Dorito is very slow to get the follow-up. Flip reset attempt as well. I do like the mechanics. The striking has been in peak form in this game, and that's not something that we were able to say in the previous one, not only because of the own goal, but also so many wasted chances where they were right in front of the net, Cole, but the accuracy, they were finding defenders in the net versus the open space.
Oh, here's Vatira. He's got another edgeable on the go. He just about got caught by the defender, so couldn't turn it into anything else. This game, long since dead. It's going to be 2-1 Karmine Corp in this series. It's such an important series as well. You're in the first regional of the split, the Winter Open. You are desperate to make it into that top 4, and that is why G1, after that game, will be taking a tactical timeout to talk things through, because the pressure is really high in the context of this split and making the major, even at this early stage.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is the right time to take a timeout, especially with how drastic the difference in the score line in this game alone was, and you just need a break, a mental break to reset, to understand that, okay, we can come back from this. Again, we have to remind ourselves that we made them own goal, all right? They need to have that at least going through their brains and maybe implement some kind of change. This just looked pretty dominant from K-Corp, who were able to execute better on those opportunities.
Yeah, it was the first game in this series where G1 looked flat, which is definitely a disappointment for them, because even in the first game that they lost, I would say that if they didn't look like the better team, it was certainly competitive and close. I imagine what they're saying is just to let that one go, not to take too much from the game that just happened. You know, Itachi was absolutely smashing them at the beginning, and he's been having a great series, but it was Vatira that was breaking through their defense. Sometimes against Karmine Corp, arguably the best team in the world, that's going to happen.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially looking back as a player, or if you're a coach, there's really no point in seeing a game that's as one-sided as that and understanding that, okay, it just wasn't the top performance for us. There's no point in nitpicking every single individual play. They know they just have to simply elevate all of them and all of their play styles together, and they can definitely do that moving forward. And G1, always a team that can pull out random surprises when you don't expect it, and I hopefully get to see something crazy moving forward, and maybe they can embarrass K-Corp a little bit more.
Maybe. I dread to think what would happen in game number 5 if that does happen here in game number 4. So I'm hoping for their sake that they don't embarrass Karmine Corp. If I'm their coach, I'm saying whatever you do, don't do that. But I mean, we're seeing these highlights now, and at this point, Itachi was the only player who'd scored for Karmine Corp. He's having such a good series for them, and he's not really known for his goal scoring.
And a lot of it started out with Vatira having that setup. You mentioned Itachi. Normally, you know, it could be Itachi up to Vatira who's hitting the shot, but this time it's swapped a bit. Vatira sets up the space, and you've got Itachi who's as consistent as ever. This player, always in the right spot where he needs to be. He can fill in anywhere on the field. And in this instance, K-Corp, they didn't have the firepower. They didn't have the striker. What does Itachi do? He steps up, he starts hitting those shots, and his teammates can follow.
Game 4, Utopia, 2-1 Karmine Corp, and G1 have used their secret weapon, their tactical timeout. Normally so effective at managing to turn the momentum of a series on its head, but Karmine Corp, they're just good enough to deal with that. They should be able to win this game the way they're playing in the last one. It's actually starting well again for Karmine Corp, barreling more pressure on that G1 defense. When Karmine Corp get going and get their momentum going, they really pen G1 back. Oh no, and that doesn't help.
Yeah, this is a painful one. Somebody was in position for the midfield challenge. I believe it was Mark by 8 rotating back in. He tried to cut in early. The pass from Vatira would have gone to the left. Instead, it bounces off Mark by 8. The goalkeeper doesn't expect it. And the first goal for King.
Unfortunately, the own goal counter for this series does have to tick along to 2. Sorry, Mark by 8. I don't think that one was going in until your touch, Nate. To give an indication of the power of the tactical timeout, G1, who might be about to go 2-0 down, have taken 3 before this season and won all 3. And now, already, in this game against Karmine Corp, it's looking like they're facing an uphill battle. So Karmine Corp really stepping it up at the moment.
It's got to be frustrating, too, because, I mean, you imagine what it feels like. You take an extra 60 seconds, come back in here, completely reset. Maybe you forgot about the previous game and all of the mistakes that you were able to make. Then, boom, right again, you're put under the spotlight on your defensive side, and you start to think, oh, maybe this one will slip away as well. But hopefully that's not the case for G1, and they can battle back.
Dorito's going to send that one as far as he can, but Exotic was waiting. The pass into Itachi was a smart one. Dorito was just in the perfect position to send it away. Atomic helps out, and you can see the defending from G1 is, to me, looking just a little bit desperate. They're booming the ball as far as they can, but
oh my
Tasty are
goodness.
always
What
waiting.
is-
Itachi
what?
is always cooking something.
No.
Itachi has been grinding the map packs.
I saw this play develop all the way from the blue corner. He controlled it effortlessly, got around the first defender, then air dribbled it through, gets the flip reset, took it from his own end. It's not just a transition, it's a full court carry, and he gets the second goal.
He's inspired by Morocco in the World Cup. That's the only explanation. The man is playing out of his skin right now mechanically.
I mean,
G1.
Cole, what more do you want of a teammate? You know, normally it's like, oh, you got a clear, nice. Oh, you got a flip reset over another defender, nice. Oh, you got a goal? Thank you. I'll take that.
He's doing all three. He's doing it all. He's scoring again.
Somebody stop this man and his positioning. Somebody stop Vatira and the setups. Can anybody stop all three of K-Corp from dismantling your defense? I don't think so. They're gaining more and more speed, more and more momentum as we get into it.
They're looking like the team that made it to 3 grand finals in a row in the full split, winning one of them. G1 struggling to deal with it. As it stands right now, they're on the ropes. They're on the cusp of going out, G1. Still a couple of games to play of at least, but they just have to get something going in this next 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Have to get a goal or two. Have to at least make Karmine Corp think, and it's not happening. Is there going to be a G1 player on the end of this? Yes, there is, though. Dorito gets them back involved in the series.
Yeah, and this is huge for G1. As much as we like to talk about K-Corp and the flashiness of it, G1 still have speed, still have the mechanics to outpace and outmatch K-Corp in a lot of different challenges in a lot of different ways, and they do so with that midfield approach. And it's wide open for Dorito to strike. Approaching halftime, 2:30 to go, and that's the way you want to get into the second half of this game, with a goal to your name.
Oh, what a pass that was from Mark by 8. It just wasn't quite read. This is exactly where his teammates were, but Atomic is there. Bang, 3-2.
Oh, and he's flying so fast into the air. You can see Dorito, perfect 50-50, off the top of the dome, into the middle, and Atomic so speedy to get up to that one.
I was just starting to count G1 out, maybe a little bit early, don't get me wrong, but it seemed that this wasn't going to happen. G1, they talked about their mental in the interview with Atomic. They're showing it now. Suddenly they're back in this game on Utopia. Can they ride this momentum? Dorito sends it forward. Vatira to the side, being hounded by Dorito. Exotic over the top, but now it's the Karmine Corp clearances that are just going to a G1 player until that bump. Hasn't quite worked out for G1. Smart by 8 catches up against Vatira. Huge demo again from Dorito. Smart by 8 have the boost to do anything with it. Not quite then, but G1 Turtle well and truly now on the ascendancy.
Do K-Corp start to push back and feel the pressure? Maybe they try and get just as aggressive as G1 have been. There's been more demos. Vatira, maybe he could follow that one up. The bounce wasn't in his favor, but it doesn't matter because Exotic is there to have his back.
You have to close Vatira faster than that. If you let him get to this side of the pitch, 9 times out of 10, even if he doesn't score, he'll put the ball somewhere dangerous. And Exotic's finish at the end of it, he'd learned from that game too. That was pinpoint.
I could see the respect too. I was on I believe it was Atomic's cam settings, and he believed in the Vatira double tap. He pre-jumped early, assuming Vatira is going to hit that shot. And as a result, he couldn't get a response or even another pre-jump for the follow-up from Exotic. And that just goes to show how much pressure can be applied when you've got a player like Vatira on your side.
A few demos are flying in now as well to open up this game even more. As Itachi takes out 2 of them, but not quite the third. The 50-50's not bad either, though. Vatira has a chance to make this 5 and end the game. He can't quite take it. G1 going to try and keep on coming, but Itachi comes steaming in. Atomic has to get over the top of Exotic. Again, unable to do so. Exotic just puts the ball on a plate for his teammate. Itachi's waiting in the middle. He'd love one more goal to kill this one, but he's going to have to show some patience for now. Exotic, look at all the time that he can burn. G1, someone go. Exotic's toying with his food. Dorito gets the next touch, but he would have loved those few seconds that he stole.
Yeah, it was a big break in rotation. Atomic was the player who was supposed to move forward, but he actually parked his car directly on the midfield boost, and more space for Vatira. And there's the double tap that we all expected him to hit before.
There it is, just over the top of 2 of them with the flick. And then it's like he's in a training pack in that situation. Yep. Vatira just has this inner sense of where Mark by 8 does not want the ball.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes on the backboard.
It's all about making it out of reach for these players. If you're going up for a double tap like that, finding the perfect spot on the backboard where you can still hit the angle but keep it out of reach of the goalkeeper. And like you said, it looks like a training pack. It looks routine, textbook stuff from Vatira as they get possession back in this game. There was a moment, Cole, I'm not gonna lie, where, you know, we started to see the comeback from G1 and we're thinking, okay, we've got a game on our hands. It's not just gonna be all K-Corp, but they did battle back.
They squeeze the life out of you, the blue wall. As soon as you don't take that third goal chance, as soon as you give them a little bit too much space because you overcommit, they will just destroy you, as we have seen here. Another 3-goal difference in that one right there on Utopia. G1 are going to need 3 games in a row against the Karmine Corp that are finally hitting top gear in this tournament.
And we actually don't have any timeouts remaining, obviously, for G1, as they just took it to head into this one after losing 5-1 in game number 3. Now they lose 5-2 in game number 4. So there's some improvement. Okay, there's a little bit of some improvement. But interestingly enough, this has been a game of who can score first. The team to score first has won all of the 9 games played today. So getting that first goal, starting out strong, has been crucial with this series.
Would you say then that if G1 get the first goal in the next game, you'd be thinking, oh yeah,
set me up with that. Don't set me up with that, bro. I just hit you with a stat thinking I'm all smart, and now you're going to call me out and make me go against what I'm saying. Because honestly, if G1 score first the next game, I'm still giving it to K-Corp, bro. I can't go against them.
You wouldn't go against the stats. I'm horrified.
I'm going against it, man. I don't believe in the stats. I only believe in the history of it, okay?
Okay, so Turtle doesn't believe in the stats. So if Karmine Corp score first in this game, Turtle will think that G1 will win it anyway.
No, that's not what I'm... Listen, K-Corp are winning this series anyway. I would love to get proven wrong. I just can't see a world right now where K-Corp don't take away a win in this series. And as I... Come on! What is going on? Bro, can I stand on any opinion ever? All right, I guess I'm just always...
Well, there it is. G1 take the first goal. A massive first goal, as Turtle was so keen to mention. The team to score first
your fault.
has won all 9 games played so far today. Turtle believes in the perfect 10, but G1 are going to have to believe that they are perfect 10s.
Yeah.
They have such a good game right now if they're to take down Karmine Corp. Because in all seriousness, Turtle, Karmine Corp still look unstoppable despite that early goal.
Regardless of their early goal, they're still moving forward with pressure. Itachi's going to take the midfield boost, and we'll see what he can do with a small first touch. Tries to force it in the midfield. A big dunk from Vatira, and this pressure can continue moving forward for the blue wall.
Vatira is just waiting for the ball. What's he going to do? Up by 8. Just gets up as soon as he can. That's smart play. Don't let Vatira have too much space. He's going to grab some. His first touch is always perfect. Just close him down as soon as you possibly can. And Itachi is not having a bad period himself, is he? A huge demo. Exotic's waiting for it, but Atomic just prods it to the left. Exotic can go again, tease it up for himself. This is a good play from Karmine Corp, getting themselves straight back involved, especially when the backboard defending from G1 is imperfect. Dorito with a save from that backboard keeps G1 ahead.
I'm impressed with G1's ability to just maintain their lead, quite honestly, and not allow a mistake to come out of their defense, because K-Corp, they're so good at setting up their players in your box, the positioning, the rotations, wrapping around perfectly in front of the box, and it's so difficult to deal with. Now you've got a ball going off the backboard, and all 3 players, this is the mistake that the positioning can bring out. This is what I'm talking about. All of this pressure. You think it's going to let up, and it finally does. This is why K-Corp are so hard to defend against.
Now as he threaded that needle as well, Exotic, look at this. Look at all the parts of the goal that were covered. And Exotic, via a bounce, that avoided Dorito still, manages to get it in that perfect, precise position. And, you know, we talked about the triple commit that they made on the backboard, G1. It's because they know if not one of those players gets the ball, Karmine Corp ain't gonna miss. You have to somehow get the ball away, because if you do make a mistake, you will be punished.
And then on top of that, you've also got to worry about, you know, the solo plays. Like, yes, you might be able to find perfect challenges for each shot, but then here comes Vatira with more flick resets, or potentially Itachi with a better creative setup, and so many layers to worry about. We'll see what Itachi has in store to try and get the second goal. It's another bounce shot. All the respect is there for G1 on K-Corp.
Even when he misses, it still works out flawlessly. Look at this. I mean, place your bets. Did he mean this?
Oh, that... I'm gonna go no. He was just opted to go for a better challenge, maybe a 50-50, and he's just like, oh, okay, I guess you're gonna not touch the ball. I'll take it.
He's definitely spamming calculated in Quick Chat right now, because I don't care what level of Rocket League you're at. If you do that, you spam calculated in Twitch chat. This might be even more calculated. Itachi again! Oh, just off the post, and the game stays alive.
All right. Big transition for G1. Their first time on offense in quite some time. Maybe they get a goal, or just opening up some opportunities that you can build on, but you were down the other way immediately, Cole.
They're going to have to get over this respect that they've got for Karmine Corp right now. It's that respect which is why they're double committing. It's the respect which is why they're missing the shot, because they're constantly thinking this has to be perfection. Because if it's not, then we're going to get just almost humiliated by Karmine Corp. You have to let that go if you are in G1. You know, maybe their coach Kale needs to have a word and say, just play your game. You are unbeaten going into this series. Atomic's going to close down the clearance. So it just gets it through towards Dorito, and G1 have just about managed to start walking. Now, can they start running?
It's going to be hard if you got a player like Exotic bumping you out of the way. He just got some of the best timing I've seen in rotation with a bump. I mean, rotating back and then took out Mark by 8. Even if he can't get a touch, he's still involved on the play off the backboard. Vatira is involved with this challenge, but immediately won by G1, and a better look for Mark by 8. He goes for a backboard read, but can't find it because of Exotic.
Mark by 8 just always looked a few boosts short of what he wants to do in this series, because he's chasing it so much with the pace that Karmine Corp have, so it's not quite able to work for him when he gets those double tap chances. Vatira, he can make this one work. He's gone to the backboard with the musty flick. It's almost paid dividends, but it was saved in the end. Now it's Itachi's turn. Mark by 8 underneath. Goes
going for the bump.
him. Itachi's trying to fake it again. Exotic's in. His own double tap goes wide. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. G1 need a goal. Vatira could be about to do exactly what they don't want, and that's to lead to a third goal for Karmine Corp. They are just incessant on the attack.
The Vatira-Itachi duo. Vatira flip resets over 2 of them. Ball bounces in front of the net, and G1 scrambling to try and make up for that given space. 3-1. Security's there. 1 minute and 5. Everything is on the line for G1. They've got to score soon.
Atomic tries to make it happen, but it's met by Exotic, and that is how you defend the backboard. Not just catching the ball, not just waiting for the fake, then getting the ball all the way down to the other end, but that's a huge
here we go.
It's going for bumps, but Atomic's forgotten the ball. The first thing you need to score a goal is the round thing in front of you.
Oh, you're already trying to prepare this super complex plan, and you forget to get the perfect touch. Atomic, the double tap off the crossbar. You needed to hit that goal. That was it, maybe Dorito. It's not it. The execution. It's not enough. That's not what you have.
Oh, no.
Cole, what is going on? How is that not a goal?
I'd love to say it's because of brilliant Karmine Corp defending, and in the end it was with Vatira's save, but until then, you had to score, and you would have given yourself 25, 26, 27 seconds left to score one. As it is, the 2-goal swing, and now you find yourself 3 goals behind. Karmine Corp are going to be making it into our semi-finals. They're going to be up against German amigos. And maybe they're going to make yet another final. It's turning into a season of dominance for Karmine Corp. The only real mistake they've made since the start of the 22-23 season was losing to Moist over in Rotterdam. That's it. That's the only blemish.
And honestly, that might have added more fuel to the flame for KC. They had such a dominant fall split. They came up a little bit short at the major. I'm sure their expectations were clearly to win the whole thing, and here they come with a chip on their shoulder, a lot of frustration that they're letting out right now on the pitch against, unfortunately, G1, who are catching a lot of the smoke here, and KC will take the dub. And I won't say it was always comfortable. There were moments where you're thinking G1 can get back into it, but for the most part, Karmine Corp, very routine and textbook gameplay from that.
Just beautiful, clean gameplay from Karmine Corp. When G1 came forward and they had their moments, and they did have their moments, Karmine Corp never panicked. And you can see there the team camaraderie. That is a happy camp right there, Turtle.
Yep.